Jai Gurudev. My name is Devi, and I am from Mauritius, although I did not live here for a good while, but I'm back in Mauritius now. I am a devotee of Paramahamsa Swami Vishwananda. Today, I want to share some very special stories and my experience with the Guru. Way back in 2019, I was in Vrindavan Ashram with Guruji. We call him Guruji. And he wanted me to initiate as a devotee, and I made it a real saga before I got initiated. My younger brother, he was very, very sick. He had just been diagnosed with blood cancer at the time. And I asked Guruji, I have to look after him. I cannot give much time to the mission. So he said to me, don't worry, I will look after him. I said, are you sure, Guruji? Because I have to be day and night with him. He says, just don't worry, I will take care. When he told me that, I didn't realize how much weight there was on his words. So I said, you promise? He says, I will take care of him. I said, okay. Then came back to Mauritius. But every time I said, I write to Guruji when I'm taking him to the hospital or to the clinic, I said, Guruji, my brother is going to clinic. Please be with him. Please take care. And he says, you don't worry because I will take care. Even then, having a very human mind, I just thought, he's just saying that. But as time went by, the only thing he told me, give him onion, red onion every day. In my head, I was saying, he's fooling me. What does red onion have to do with blood cancer? But I listened to him. I gave my brother onion salad, onion soup. In any form I can make the onion, I used to give my brother. There was a time when I was shocked. The doctor told me he is in remission. Remission meaning there is no cancer. I could not believe that. This was about 2 years later, or 1.5 years later. But the doctor told me anytime it can come back. So keep him on the medication, and which I did. The cancer never came back. But during that time, he had developed other complications, like heart problem. I keep telling Guruji, now it's heart problem, now it's diabetic problem. I was annoying Guruji because my brother meant a lot to me. He was my source of, continuing my journey on this earth. Every time he was going into hospital, I said, I'm taking him to the hospital, Guruji. Can you take care, please? And he will say, yes, I shall take care. And he did. Every single journey I made, Guruji was with him all the time. One wish I told Guruji in one of my messages, I said, Guruji, I want my brother, when he goes to the other world, I want him to be at home with me and people who are with us at home only, like my 2 aunts who live with me. I said, I don't want him to die on a machine in the hospital. I don't want to admit it to any ICUs. I want everything to go very peaceful, and you be with him and take him to the other world. This has been going on all these years, from 2019. Like I wanted to fashion my brother's passing, like you tailor-made everything. Like I am making a dress for myself. I asked the tailor, I want it this way, that way, that way. exactly like this, I keep telling Guruji. He must have been annoyed with me because I keep pestering him on that. I don't want anything from Guruji except that. Then this year, on the 5th of December, I remember very, very well, my brother was well when I left him at home that day. And then Guruji sent me a message. I was shocked, He says, the time has come now. The time for my brother is up. I immediately called him. I said, Guruji, what do you mean? He says, his time has come. Be prepared, he will go very, very soon. I got the shock of my life, How could Guruji, he was in India at the time, how could his focus be on my brother? Which means his focus is on all of us at any time. The fact that he told me that proves to me that he's looking after all of us all the time. And then Guruji, I phoned him and I said, Guruji, just give me time to do what I have to do for you. He says, I'm not sure. His time is really up. I said, please, Guruji, just a few days to do what I have to do for you when you come. Actually, Guruji, without telling me he's doing it, he granted me this. I could pick him up from the airport. I could be at the opening of Just Love Festival. And I could also be there the next day for a few hours. But that day when Guruji told me his time is up, when I went back, everything has changed in the vitals. The nurse came and we took his vitals. Everything has changed. The nurse says, how can it happen, within hours? Because this morning when we took the vitals, everything was normal. But this time, everything changed. It was like happening one after the other. Of course, being nurses, they fight till last breath. So they tell me, we admit him to the hospital. I said, no way I will admit him to the hospital. And we called the doctor. It was a she doctor. She came and she told me, let's put him in ICU. I said, no, doctor, I won't put him in ICU. I told the doctor, I believe in my Guru. He is taking care. Because they fight for life for patients as well. I can understand them. But me, I knew time. Guruji told me time has come. 3 days before he's passing away, my aunt was sitting by his side and he said, do you want me to ask Devi, we take a car and we go roaming around in Mauritius? He says, no. He pointed with his thumb. He says, I want to go up. So my aunt tells him, you want to go to Grandma's place? He said, no, up to God. He said loudly, I want to go up to God. And then I knew time is really coming for him. Then Saturday morning, my intuition tells me my brother is leaving. From morning, very early morning, I wrote to Guruji and I told him, Guruji, today I'm not coming to Just Love, nor will I come tomorrow. He wrote me back, he says, this is all Guruji told me, I said, yes. 2-3 weeks before that, a person who hasn't contacted me for almost 10 years, he contacted me. And this person has a funeral service called Om Shanti. Okay? This was amazing. This person was looking for me because I moved house. He didn't know where I was. Then he told me while he was going through his things, he found my number. He called me just 3 weeks before my brother passes away. You know, I do astrology, and I did his when he was younger, and I told him that he will have a very prosperous business. And he told me, you know, whatever you told me came true. I have a very prosperous business. And I said, what do you do? He says, funeral services. We started laughing. I said, you call this a prosperous business? And he said, yes, I make a good living by it because he provides everything. And I just told him, when I need you, will you come? He says, anytime, middle of the night, anytime you need me, I'll be there. I kept this in my mind. Around about when I knew my brother was going, when I'm feeling it more and more, I said to Ashwin, please get prepared. I will call you in a few minutes. And suddenly, you know, it was like, I cannot explain. Exactly at 4:20, I knew my brother was drawing his last breath. I learned something many, many years ago, how to die peacefully. When somebody is going, you put your hand on the crown chakra, and when the breath, the last breath goes through there, the prana goes through there, he will have a very good life in his next life if he is to be reborn. So I just sat there, put my hand on his crown chakra, and when the prana was going, my hand became so hot, incredibly. You can't even bear that heat. And I knew he's gone now, because all that came into my palm, that heat, very, very, very strong. And I said to my two aunties, he's gone now. Before the prana went, I could smell Guruji all along. Like from the breath of my brother, it was Guruji's perfume. We all noticed that, but my aunts, they don't know Guruji's perfume. I knew. So I know he was there. I know he was assisting my brother to go. It couldn't have been a more beautiful going away. Guruji was there. The whole room filled with his perfume at that time. I am ever so grateful to our Gurudev for really accepting what I wanted from him. Guruji was in full swing at GLF. First thing in the morning, he sent me a message, and he told me, what time is the funeral? Funeral was from home. We were going to leave at 1:30. So I told Guruji 1:30. He says, I have to come and pay him my last respect. This was so touching for me, that Guruji, despite all the responsibility that he had at Just Love, he made time to come. And just when we were about to do the last prayers, it's as if for me, Guruji came to take his soul with him. He went so peacefully, so peacefully. Like, my brother was 65. He was like in his 30s when you look at him in that deathbed. He was looking so beautiful. The body was so beautiful. And I know it was all Guruji's doing. I can't ask for more, because I know that my brother, he is in the hands of Guruji now. Do not think that Guruji is a normal being. He pretends to be with all of us. You ask him something, he won't say, I will do it. He will say, I pray for you. Very often he has told me, I'll pray for your brother. But it's him. It's him who is doing everything, no one else. Guruji, how can I explain that? Fashion made his death according to what I wanted. This was the only desire I had. I have no more desires. He did it. He did it. And he even told Swami Parantapa, she got it as she wanted it. What more can I ask of Guruji? I don't need anything for myself. I always pray for other people. I will continue to do so. Jai Gurudev.